Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I am your host, Crimson Sin. Be sure to follow us over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord. Link in description below. If you're enjoying the videos, be sure to like, sub, share, and hit that bell for notifications. So how'd you guys like that intro? I like playing around with video effects and things like that. I'm learning about moving objects and stuff. I thought it turned out pretty cool. So if you guys liked it, let me know in the comments below. But today's video is going to be about what I want to see in season 2 of Carmen Sandiego. I love animation. I think cartoons are great. It's not just for kids. They can be for everybody. And I think Carmen Sandiego did a really good job of being kid-friendly enough to where little kids could watch it. And it did a pretty good job for a little bit older audiences. Probably not like adults would dig this show, like things like Last Airbender and stuff really could tap into that market. But pretty good for young to teenagers, I think, would really dig this show. But there's room for improvement. The things that I want to see going forward. First, I'll start with, I think the worst character who needs the most work would be Chase Deveneaux. He's just for gags and to laugh at him, and he's an idiot and he does everything wrong and he treats his partner like crap. He treats Julia just horribly in this show.
Poitiers is rich with medieval history. Perhaps she is targeting a priceless antique or historic artifact from one of its many churches.
Ms. Argent. You are an agent of Interpol, not a museum guide. So you may stop sharing dull facts about boring things. What is it now, Miss Argent? I am driving!
But petty theft seems below the station of an acknowledged super thief.
Perhaps you should stop interrogating me and save the questioning for...
It's as if our witness didn't exist.
Are you trying to rub it in, Miss Argent? Because you're doing a sensational job of it!
I would really like for him to evolve as a character. I know in that last episode he kind of did some cool stuff, tried to fight off that mind control thing, he admitted that he was treating Julia wrong. He also looks like he could be a good guy. Just so many silly things. He's always crashing his cars and everything. Just become a little bit better. Show him that he actually cares. Show him that he cares about doing his job correctly, because he hasn't caught anybody. Make him catch somebody else. Maybe he's never going to catch Carmen because she's, the titular character. She's never going to get caught. But have him at least get some leads, find some clues, make some steps to actually doing something instead of just being the guy who always fails. He definitely needs to become that better character. Our next character I'm going to focus on would be Julia. I liked, again, in that last episode, a lot of people kind of grew. She stood up to Chase, let him know that he was treating her wrong and that he needs to listen to her, which is great.
Why must it always be about you?
Maybe you should be the one to tell me, since you are clearly Chief's favorite.
Ugh! You are impossible! Have you forgotten to factor Vile into any of your thinking?
I'm assuming since Chase got, his brain got all scrambled in the last episode, he's probably going to be out of the show for at least probably the first half of season 2. So everything's going to be in Julia's lap. So she's going to have to make all the decisions and make it to where maybe she found comfort in letting Chase take control of everything, because then it's not your fault. Because then in your mind, you can say, well, he decided to go this way or he decided to do this. Now everything's on her. Don't let her just be this perfect character. Make her make decisions and have her screw up. Maybe it wasn't so easy being the lead detective or the lead agent, and she's going to have to go solo and have to make those decisions on her own. I know the show isn't about relationships, but I can't help but to think that she cares about Chase. In the physical way, I don't know. He's kind of a dummy and he's always such a jerk to her, but I think she actually does like him as a person. So maybe if he starts treating her right, maybe there could be a nice little pairing there between those two. But they're not like the main characters, so I don't really expect there to be too much of that going on. But just a little bit of hints of that, I think that would be pretty cool. As for Acme as a whole, as an agency, we don't know a lot about them, except for they have all this technology and all these resources, but yet they're always 2 to 3 steps behind. They always seem like they don't have the knowledge to get any of these criminals. They haven't caught anybody. They kind of caught the mime bomb, but they just let him go. It's crazy that they didn't, put a tracer bug on him or something, or decrypt any type of electronics he might have had. Nothing. They seem to have all this really cool stuff. They have all these cool fast cars. They have all this scanning technology. They obviously have holographic technology that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. They just need to show that they can actually do something. It'd be cool if they actually started making steps of finding out where Vile headquarters are, or finding out where their drop areas are. So just disrupting a little bit of what Vile's doing, not just let it all be on Carmen, make it to where they're actually doing something as well. And then we get to Vile overall. They need to be evil and despicable and doing terrible things. In the episode where they were going to make that rocket explode and it's going to rain down on all the Aboriginal tribes and everything there in Australia, that is despicable. It is terrible. It is evil. It's exactly what they should be doing, because they're going to put a bad name on that aerospace technology company. So they would make their stock prices drop so they can buy them all up and basically steal their technology at like the lowest price possible. Excellent idea. Wonderfully evil. Perfect. Poisoning the rice crops. I'm like, oh man, that's super evil. People are going to die. There's going to be starvation. Countries are going to be looking for aid. And I thought, oh, they're going to come in and they're going to provide aid, making Vile look like a better company, buying up a bunch of that land, coming with a quote unquote the cure so everyone has to come to them. No, they did it so they could sell their nasty instant rice.
Why would they go through all the trouble of engineering some crazy food shortage crisis?
To force a hungry population to buy Vile brand instant imitation rice at inflated prices, no doubt. They tried to feed it to us back on the island, but Vile doesn't even begin to describe how bad it was.
You started out with something cool and it's something stupid. Just let them be evil. Let them do evil, despicable things. I know they're not going to go into like murders and kidnappings and extortion type stuff, but let them be evil just the way that they are. I also would like for Vile to show off some of their other thieves. They say there's 30 of them that graduated at every class. So we've only met Tigress, Shadowstar, Crackle's no longer a part of the team, Mole Guy, and Goat Boy. That's 5. So where are the other 25 thieves? They can do a lot of cool. Oh yeah, and Mind Bomb. So we met 6. There should be some more. I know they don't have to be themed bad guys. Like, I don't want them to be, oh, one of them likes to be a clown. Oh, this guy's a garbage man. Like, don't do weird, like, they're not wrestlers, okay? They don't have to have things or, themes to them. I would like to see, maybe there is an older team that does some more of the more serious crimes, I would think. It just seems that they keep falling back on these weird. How old is everyone again? Is everyone an adult in this show? Or they just seem like teenagers to me. I don't know. Maybe just because everyone I meet I think is younger than me. But they just seem like they're teenagers. And to get into specific characters, I'm thinking like, okay, with Tigress. She had a couple of episodes and I thought, oh, she's going to be set up as Carmen's main rival. Not really. They had a couple altercations. Tigress is a little bit of a better fighter than she is. But that's it. And then Carmen's the better thief overall at everything else. And she didn't really match her except for like in hand-to-hand combat. I really would like for Carmen to have that real rival to someone who can outsmart her. Someone where Carmen feels like, oh my goodness, I'm a couple of steps behind. Who's this other person? I don't know if that rival should be an Acme agent, because everything that happened to Chase, maybe Acme's like, hey, we got to call in the big guns. We got to get our own super agent and put her or him, probably her, put her on the job to take down Carmen Sandiego, because what she did to Chase, they think that she was the one responsible for doing that little mind scramble to him. That would be cool. Someone who's just as smart, just as fast, is good at hacking, does all the things she can do, but maybe a little bit better. And then we can have that real cat and mouse game instead of just Carmen always being 3 steps ahead and Vile's a little bit close, but Acme, they might as well not even be a part of the equation. They're so far behind. The head teachers, I know the show isn't about them, but it would be cool to have an episode where, kind of like if anyone remembers The Last Airbender, it was Tales of Ba Sing Se, where they did a bunch of like 5-minute little episodes all in one big episode that they all tied together and led to one thing. I would like to know how did Maelstrom come to the school? Was he always a bad guy? Was Vile always a thing, or did these 5 teachers make this school, or has this always been a thing? Like, since ancient times there's always been like a thieves guild or whatever. Give us a little bit of background about that. It doesn't have to be huge, but it will do wonders for world building. Like, oh, okay, this thing's been around for hundreds of years or whatever. And, do the same thing for the other teachers. Coach Brunt, show her, how did she get to this situation? She seems to be the muscle, but not much of a thief. I'm guessing she might have been like some mobsters, send her in and she's going to beat the crap out of someone who doesn't want to pay, protection money. Shadow Son, obviously, he was ninja trained, samurai trained, something. He probably comes from a long family of thieves. And for the other one, I guess I forget her name, but the fashion teacher, I guess she just likes expensive things, so she's kind of more of that white collar crime type. And then the evil scientist, okay, she likes making evil scientist stuff. But Maelstrom, that's another one that's kind of weird. Like, what's his deal? Where did he come from? Just give us a little bit of background. I don't want like full blown arcs, but one episode divided up into 5 parts, and it comes to them coming together. I think that would be pretty cool. As for like the other thieves, I would really like for Graham Crackle, codename AKA Crackle, something to happen with him. I don't want him to necessarily become a bad guy again, but have him get put into the show. The love interest for Carmen. Even though you see these two characters together, he obviously is he cares about Carmen. He loves her. Not necessarily he has a connection with her. Carmen kind of played it off as, oh, he's like the brother I never had.
Remember, Red, Crackle once tried to
Turn out my lights with a sizzle stick. I know, but before he was Crackle, he was Gray. And Gray was like a big brother to me.
Graham is not thinking you're the sister you never had. I can guarantee that. Let that relationship kind of maybe go somewhere. Make it to where Carmen, maybe goes back to Australia, maybe takes him up on that date, and have that be something where Vile finds out about it, and then her worst fear happens. They use him to get to her. They capture him, kidnap him. Oh, come here if you want to save him. That can be a nice little plot point. And then it goes to Carmen. Oh, I never should have, let my heart make a decision. I shouldn't have just stuck to doing the job, but she's human. She deserves and wants happiness and stuff like that. I think that would be another cool little storyline they can do. As for the rest of the characters, like Tigress, Shadowstar, I think those are going to be the two, if they stick with these characters that they need to go back to. Because they actually look like they can do their jobs correctly. As for like Mole Boy and Goatman, those guys, they're so weird. And like the episode with the rocket, oh no, dingoes are gonna eat him, and like he's such an idiot, he falls for anything.
But they're out there, and they mangled some French dude.
Le chef.
Those two guys, stuff needs to happen to either they become cooler. I don't even know how you would do it, but they're just not that great. They're kind of dumb. Oh, then let's get to Zach and Ivy. It was mentioned that they met Carmen while they were on a job in Boston.
Like the night we first met Carmen.
Right! She was casing the same joint. Who'd ever guess a South Boston donut shop would be a front for a super secret crime empire?
Let's see that job. What happened? What exactly went down? Were they going after the same thing? What led them to want to be hired? I'm assuming because they call Carmen boss multiple times. So what was going on? Do they get paid? I'm assuming they get paid. What's their motivations? Is it truly just money, or did they want to become, righteous thieves like she is? I would like to see that episode because I think that would be interesting because their personalities just seem to be kind of wishy-washy. Would they betray Carmen if there was enough money involved? We need to know a little bit more about them. I guess it's never said, but why does Carmen need these two? Zach is like the wheel man because he's the guy who drives all the vehicles all the time. So I guess he kind of needs a wheel guy, call him up, pull up the thing, you have the car, I jump in, take off. What does Ivy do? They showed her pick locks a couple of times, but Carmen has tools and gadgets that pick locks. So I don't understand why she would need Ivy. Is she the muscle? Carmen's already kind of trained to fight, and Ivy's just another young woman with doesn't look like she has any type of training. So why does she even exist? They need to give Ivy something she can do. Like, I can't even really think. Maybe she's not very knowledgeable either. Zach and Ivy are kind of dummies. Like they're not learned. They're not of the world. They don't know anything besides what's ever 5 feet in front of them. So I would like there to be some more building with those two characters. Maybe show them when their kids were they always orphans? Were they always stealing from stores and pickpocketing people as a way to live? Like, I would like to see like that. The whole, season 2 can't just be all flashback episodes, but that would be nice to have that little why they follow Carmen, why they look up to her, because right now it just seems like it's just for the money. Like, it's got to be something more than that. Player. It's weird. All the other characters look like they grew up. Like, you look at Carmen when she was in school, and Carmen now, it's like, talk about ugly duckling. She became like this gorgeous woman, and she was kind of like this skinny, scrawny little girl. Player looks the same. He's always in a chair, so it's really hard to tell how much older he got. He still looks like he's like 12 years old. Somehow he got frozen in time. He doesn't ever age. But I think it'd be cool for player to have to get out of that chair, have to do something physical to help Carmen. And you know, that could be like you take him out of his comfort zone, you push him forward to where he can actually, he's not always just typing away at the keyboard. I think that'd be kind of cool. And then you only got two instances of this earlier in the show, and then during the with Graham, he's a little jealous of him because he has Carmen. You can tell, and he can tell that Carmen cares about him, and he kind of feels like, well, I thought you liked me.
Player. School's been really awesome. I wish you were here.
Black Sheep, come on, mate.
Who's that?
Gray from Down Under.
He's my best friend.
Oh.
My best school friend.
It's funny because it's the ultimate long distance type of thing because he's never where she's at, but he's always in her ear though. So she sees player as like, oh, he's a member of the team. He's my best bud. But it would be impossible for player at least not to like Carmen just a little bit because she's nice, she's kind, she's beautiful. And I would like there to be just a little bit of that triangle there with Graham, player, and Carmen. And necessarily player's definitely out of that intersection there. But he can't help but think, well, I'm a kind of a cool guy. Oh, don't you like me? Give us a little more of that. It doesn't have to be a lot, but just put it out there. And then we got our girl Carmen Sandiego. First off, let's get her back in that red dress again. She looked absolutely amazing in that thing. She had a couple of outfits. Some of them didn't work, but let's get her a bigger wardrobe. Let's get her in some more costumes, more disguises. She wore that black one. She had like the eye patch. It was pretty cool. I thought that was actually going to be a different character, but whatever. But let's get more of that spy stuff, more different outfits, because she looks great. It's nice to see a character who has femininity, who embraces it, because the trend in animation, especially American animation, is to have that tumbler lump. You know, look at Glimmer from She-Ra, just kind of like a blob of a character. Carmen has a figure. She had hips. You can see it on that last shot there. She looks great. And it's nice to have a beautiful character to look at. She's beautiful on the inside and the outside. Remember in the first couple episodes, those little Russian dolls, the ones that go inside of each other, 3 little cup doll things? We never found out anything about that. She found them in that first caper she did, and she had them when she was a little girl. Nothing else. Why would she even have those? Because she's obviously like South American. Like, why would you have these little Russian dolls? There has to be something. Hopefully you don't just forget about that and it actually becomes part of her character. And again, we need some more backstory about how Carmen came to the island. Now she knows it was Shadow Sun that brought her, but why? I remember in that last episode review that I did, I brought up like the different scenarios that could have happened, and I'll just kind of repeat them again. I'm thinking either Shadow Sun was sent on a job to either, if they want to go dark, like an assassination mission, kill these 2 people. They used to be spies, but they're double agents, so we had to get rid of them. He ends up doing the job, and then you realize, oh, they had a baby. And he's like, I'm not going to kill a baby, so I'll bring her back to the island. It'll be as if I got rid of her because she'll just grow up here and then she'll never know anything about her parents. Or it was just, he was just doing another job somewhere, and then there was like a orphan girl that was like thrown away, and he just picked her up. I kind of like the other version where her parents were killed, and then you have that dynamic between, wow, Shadow-san saved my life, but he also killed my parents, but then he had another chance to kill me, and he saved me again. So how do you feel about that? Like, if Carmen was in a situation where she had to either sell Shadow-san out, either where he would end up getting killed and or arrested, would she do it? Would she go against Acme, even though he's doing something bad, to save him, to like return the favor? But he's the reason why you're orphaned in the first place. See, I like those morally complex issues because there's reasons to save him and there's reasons to let him get arrested or in a situation where he might die. Carmen's a good person. She would probably end up letting him go. Like, even if Acme caught him, she would probably do something to help him get away from that as like a thank you for saving me. But get that back and forth because you need to do the right thing. But what's the right thing to do when someone saved your life, but they killed your parents? It's complex. I like that. I like heroes having to make those tough decisions. The best heroes out there, Spider-Man, Batman, these guys had things happen to them and they had to make a decision. And in that moment, was it right or wrong? I would like for Carmen to have some of that, to go through some of that. I think that would be really, really cool. And just for some general complaints that happened a couple times in the show, don't always take the silly way out. Don't always give us the silly answer. I brought up before during the episode in Australia with the rocket. Wouldn't it have been nice if Zach had to fight Mole Boy and fight him a little bit instead of like, oh, there's dingoes. You don't have to give us the stupid little kid solution to everything. We don't need wasted set pieces. There was a setup. After this big car chase, Tigress is on top of the Golden Gate Bridge. The sun's setting. There's a helicopter in the sky with a spotlight. Carmen's up there. I'm like, oh, here we go. We're going to have this really cool, super cool set piece. We're going to have a really cool fight. And they run at each other. Carmen picks her pocket, and that's all there is. Do not give me this really cool setup and give me a super lame ending. Do not waste really cool set pieces. I don't like that. I think you're selling yourself short. You can give us something super cool because there was a cool car chase and you could have had a super cool fight scene. But they kind of just skipped on it. Little things like I'm assuming they're using Vile money to get her all around the world, to get her hotel rooms and all stuff like that. But give us a little more detail on that. I know they said that she used the money to buy that stuff at the auction for the children's hospital or whatever. But a little more insight to that. Don't just assume, oh, these are just kids watching the show. They didn't know that. But kids aren't as dumb as you think they are. Give them a little bit extra there. Give them a little more insight, a little more of the minutia of how she gets tickets, that she had to always, use a different passport, like have her where she has like 50,000 different IDs, a little more of that spy stuff I would like to see. She only ended up using like 2-3 gadgets, like even though she had a whole coat of them. Come on, give us some more of that cool gadget stuff. I want 007 type stuff. And speaking of gadgets, does she make her own gadgets? Is there like a spy black market she goes to? Is there like a, 007 Q type situation where there's like a person who makes these things for her and she never sees them, but it's like always like through the computer, oh, Carmen, I have this new thing I want you to try out. That'd be kind of a new character I think they could add, because it doesn't make sense that where does she get all these things? I'm assuming it's black market stuff, but then show that black market. Show that dark web, I guess Plier would have to find this type of stuff for her, but, show that. That'd be cool. Or they can't make her a bad guy. I was thinking, oh, maybe she'll have to do a job for someone to get a certain type of item, but she's never going to do something bad. But that's just the way it is. She's the good guy. Just some, I think this would be a cool plot point, and it would bring it back to the games. Make it to where, maybe not this season 2, but maybe leading into season 3, like how you would end season 2. Make it to where, have it to where Cerebellum was inventing like a time machine. And then we can have Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego. So then you open up a whole world of possibilities of her traveling to like colonial America, ancient Egypt, all kinds of places like that, and where they start noticing things being stolen at a time. And then that can be a whole nother, that's a whole season, 2 seasons right there, where you can just do time travel stuff. And it would tie into the games too. I think that'd be pretty cool. But overall, I really enjoyed Carmen Sandiego. It had a rough start. I thought, oh, here we go. Especially all that stuff in the school stuff was just awful. Awful, awful, awful. Carmen just treating everyone kind of like crap, and I'm the best and everyone else sucks.
Isn't that right, Lambkins?
Lambkins? Who knew Vile had a mascot? Whoa!
Only my friends call me Lambkins. My codename's Black Sheep. Do you understand? Nod if you understand.
Uh-huh.
We really honed our skills.
But as soon as she got out of school and actually got to just being the woman Carmen, she was doing actual like real things instead of just showing everyone how cool she is. That's when the show got better. Didn't become great. Wasn't like how Last Airbender just blew me away. This is below that. This is definitely right down the middle, but that's a good place to be, because you got people coming back for a season 2. Come on, now you can really knock it out of the park. You don't have to worry about origin stories for the most part, for at least Carmen anyways, and you can really propel to that next level. You can be that great cartoon show, the one where I can tell people about, hey, make sure you check out, season 1, watch it if you really want to, but man, that season 2 is when it got really good. I want to say those things. I want to tell people to check this out, because I love animation. I love cartoons. I love CGI animation, hand-drawn, claymation, stop motion, whatever it is. I think animation is a wonderful way to tell a story, and Carmen can be one of those cool stories. So let me know what you guys want to see in season 2. Let me know your theories. What's going to happen with Shadow-san? Do you think Coach Brunt knows he's a double agent? Not really double agent, but knows that he let Carmen go? What's going to happen to him? Do you think Carmen's going to end up having it? She's going to have to go back to the island. Even though she really doesn't want to, something's going to happen where she's going to have to. Do you think Acme's going to step up their game? Do you think Chase is down and out? Is he going to be out for... I think he's going to be out for most of the season, at least that first half, because his brain's going to be all jacked up. And they're going to have like Carmen on the ropes, and he's going to come to him like, oh no, Carmen's the one who saved me. And then they're going to have that weird... Well, she is stealing things. She's working outside the law, but do we let her go? Kind of that vigilante type thing. There's so many different theories and ideas, but definitely looking forward to season 2. There's another show, season 2, She-Ra, and I'm not looking forward to that, but you never know. Things can always get better, and I'll call it the way I see it. This show, again, surprised me. It did get better. Other people said in the comments, I'm like, yeah, that's not going to get better, but it honestly did. So, hey, maybe it gets even better than that, and it actually becomes a great show instead of just an okay show. But thanks for watching, guys. See you guys in season 2. Make sure to leave comments, sub, share, hit that bell for notifications, and I'll check you guys out later. Crimson Saint here. Thanks for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single upload. If you have any tips or story ideas, hit us up on Twitter at C15Podcast, or better yet, join our Discord server, link in the description below.